We have 1440 in partnership with The Motley Fool. Good morning, it's Wednesday, August 5th, and an unbelievable explosion has flattened part of Lebanon's capital and stunned much of the world. I didn't hear about that. Need to know. Massive Beirut blast. At least 100 people were killed and more than 4,000 injured following a massive explosion that rocked the port area of the Lebanese capital of Beirut. The cause of the original fire was not immediately known. However, multiple video angles, warning, may be disturbing, showed an enormous mushroom cloud blast that flattened a number of surrounding buildings. Officials said the government had stockpiled at least 2,700 tons of confiscated ammonium nitrate, an explosive comparable to TNT, at a nearby depot. See photos of the aftermath here. The explosion comes as the country finds itself amid a spiraling economic and political crisis driven by widespread corruption and fiscal mismanagement. Public protests, sparked by attacks on the popular messaging service WhatsApp, drove out former Prime Minister Saad Hariri in recent months. Separately, a verdict is expected Friday in a trial implicating the militant Islamic group Hezbollah, which has a strong hand in Lebanese politics, in the 2005 death of former Prime Minister Rafik Hariri. I thought I was done with that. Hariri. I can't do that either. It's probably not a rolled R, but anyway. New York City health chief resigns. New York City's health commissioner resigned yesterday, citing disagreement with Mayor Bill de Blasio's handling of the coronavirus in the city. Okay, if he disagrees with that, why is this just now happening? Dr. Oxiris Barbot said she felt that's a woman's name? Okay. Said she felt the health department's expertise had not been used to the fullest degree possible, including a decision to house a contact tracing program within the city's public hospital system instead of the department. New York City had once been the panic's global epicenter, registering more than 6,000 cases and hundreds of daily deaths at its peak, but is now reporting about 100 new cases per day. How do they still have more people? Elsewhere in the race for a treatment, pharmaceutical giant Eli Lilly announced it would begin a phase 3 trial of an antibody treatment to blunt the spread of the virus in nursing homes. Long-term care facilities account for 8% of known U.S. cases, but more than 40% of deaths. On the vaccine front, Novavax revealed preliminary data showing their drug regimen produced an immune response in a small group of volunteers. Though other groups are farther along, the results are notable as the company is pursuing a protein-based vaccine which uses virus-like particles. The U.S. has reported 4.77 million total cases of the coronavirus, allegedly, as of this morning, with 156,830 alleged deaths. See the 3-day moving average here. Finally, check out this ranging look at where the U.S. has fallen short so far in the battle against the virus, and watch President Trump's full sit-down interview with Axios, where he discusses federal government efforts to combat the panic, among other topics. King Juan Carlos disappears. Former Spanish King Juan Carlos I has reportedly left the country over probes into his financial dealings, the royal family announced. His location is undisclosed, though rumors suggest he is headed to the Dominican Republic. Separate Swiss and Spanish probes have investigated kickbacks received by the king from construction projects in Saudi Arabia, including a $100 million payment in 2008. That sum is said to have been funneled to Juan Carlos's mistress for real estate purchases. Ooh. Is his mistress still in the country, or is she gone too? The former monarch, 82, is credited with peacefully restoring democracy in Spain after the death of dictator Francisco Franco in 1975. However, he abdicated the throne in 2014 under criticism caused by an elephant hunting trip to Botswana during the country's financial crisis in 2012. Juan Carlos's son, King Felipe VI, recently ended the annual public stipend paid to him and renounced any personal inheritance. So who's running the country? Juan Carlos has not yet been formally charged and has signaled he is willing to cooperate with investigators. One stock for entertainment? The Motley Fool is committed to providing Stock Advisor members guidance with huge potential. And there's a stock in the entertainment space that might just be what your portfolio needs for potential blockbuster gains. Is that a hint? Is it Blockbuster? Is Blockbuster coming back? I'm guessing probably not, but still. So let's get to it. PwC. Whatever. Estimates revenue from entertainment and media to hit $2.6 trillion in the next 3 years. While we all love Netflix, who doesn't? Its 2018 revenue was $15 billion, meaning there's a lot of that entertainment pie that's still to be claimed. In fact, $2.58 trillion worth of pie. Pie. Which brings us back to the Motley Fool. Co-founders David and Tom set out to independently pick stocks they expected to come out on top of the entertainment space. So when they came back with the exact same company, the rest of Motley Fool HQ was stunned, to say the least. In 25 years of the Motley Fool's business, this has only happened 25 times. And when it does, the average returns have been an incredible 931%. This small internet company is just 1/84th the size of Google, but it's positioned nicely for huge potential gains in the entertainment space. And the best part is, most investors have never even heard of it. Get the report today. Please support our sponsors. In the know, sports, entertainment, and culture. Rockettes' Christmas Spectacular canceled for first time in 87-year history. 87 fucking years. Multiple pandemics. Fucking wars. But somehow, this is just too much. I can't even begin to express the stupidity of apparently every single person in this country. Mulan to bypass American theaters and premiere directly to Disney Plus on September 4th for $29.99. So you're paying for Disney Plus and then you have to pay extra to watch it? How long until it's just there without having to pay $30 fucking dollars for it? Men's tennis world number 2 Rafael Nadal opts out of U.S. Open scheduled for August 31st in New York over coronavirus concerns. Women's number 1 Ash Barty withdrew from the tournament last week. Actor Rennie Santoni, best known for Seinfeld and Dirty Harry, dies at 81. Science and technology. Scientists make first ever diagnosis of malignant cancer in a dinosaur fossil. The advanced tumor is believed to be bone cancer in the fibula of a Centrosaurus specimen. That poor thing. Is that what killed it? New study says geologic structures on the surface of Mars were caused by water moving under ice sheets, not free-flowing rivers as previously thought. Where'd the water go? Microsoft paid $13.7 million to security researchers who identified software vulnerabilities over the past 12 months through bug bounty programs, up more than 300% from the previous year. Is that... Are you saying how much they paid for that is up more than 300%, or how many vulnerabilities were found? Business and markets. UK-based Virgin Atlantic Airlines files for U.S. bankruptcy protection amid panic travel slowdown. Can they do that? European Commission opens antitrust investigation into Google's $2.1 billion acquisition of Fitbit on concerns data would be used to further target ads. Earnings season. BP cuts dividend in half after $16 billion loss. Announces new green strategy to reduce environmental impact. This is not the right time for that. You just lost a shit ton of money and you're going to make yourself lose more. How does that make sense? Sony performs better than expected with increased entertainment and video game consumption amid panic. Disney squeezes out small profit as media segment profits jump while theme park losses grow. Well, that's not surprising. Politics and World Affairs, brought to you by In the Wild. 6 deaths reported as Tropical Storm Isaias. I'm not saying it the other way. That's just such an annoying name. Moves quickly up the East Coast. Estimated 2.5 million lose power. Estimated 2.5 million lose power in New York region. President Trump signs wide-ranging conservation bill. Great American Outdoors Act mandates $3 billion annually to maintain and improve national parks and other public lands. Is that also going to include the creation of the Garden of Heroes, or is that a separate thing? Separately, $35 million in grants designated for victims of human trafficking. Ah, very nice. U.S. Census to halt operations 1 month ahead of schedule. Representative Roger Marshall, Republican, Kansas, beats conservative hardliner Chris Kobach in Kansas Senate primary race. Representative Lacey Clay, Democrat, Missouri, loses to progressive challenger. Oh, great. Mail-in voting delays results in some Michigan precincts. Raging rivers, hungry bears, avalanches, roaring seas. Would you be prepared? In the Wild is the podcast covering harrowing tales from the depths of nature. Listen to it today on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Who wins the streaming wars? In partnership with The Motley Fool. When the Motley Fool co-founders David and Tom recommended the same stock independently of each other, it got us excited. The few times that this has happened, returns have been pretty extraordinary, averaging 931%. So what is this white knight of the entertainment space? For starters, it doesn't even compete with Netflix, Amazon, Prime Video, Hulu, or Disney+. Any one of the big streaming platforms could come out on top, and this company, which sits nicely in the middle of the advertising industry, can still drive big returns. And even though most investors have never heard of it, you can learn all about it by signing up for Motley Fool Stock Advisor. Check out the report now. Please support our sponsors. Etc. Nearly half of Americans think their news media is very biased. Oh. Nearly half? Not even half? A stunning collection of the past year's award-winning infographics. Many parents will have to stop working if school closures continue. And the fucking country will continue to stagnate. And we'll be in a world of shit. The winner of the 2020 Tiny Desk contest. What? Digital reconstruction rebuilds the world's historical architectural sites. Neato. House hunters are increasingly turning toward virtual reality. Japanese couples are turning to saboteurs to end their relationship. Strange. Trio rescued from desert island after scrawling a giant SOS. Huh. Clickbait. It's Netflix, but for cats. History book. Space pioneer Neil Armstrong born 1930. Rest in peace Marilyn Monroe 1962. U.S., U.K., and Soviet Union sign nuclear test ban treaty 1963. Rest in peace Nobel Prize-winning author Toni Morrison 2019. Mystery creates wonder, and wonder is the basis of man's desire to understand. I think they've had that quote before. That sounds really familiar. Mystery creates wonder, and wonder is the basis of man's desire to understand. Cool. That makes sense. It's a factual statement. And that's it for Sundry News. Thank you and good night.